go. Okay. All right. Three, two, one. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Hi,
Welcome.
everybody. Hang on a second while we see that we're live. Yeah, hold on just a minute, everybody. Be right with you. Yeah, there we are. Beautiful. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to see all you beautiful people and all of your reactions, questions, and whatnot. We will probably need people to be on there, and I'm not sure if anybody's on or not. I'm the person, if you remember me, that touches the computer and it'll explode. It'll go for an old rerun of Gunsmoke or something. So clearly, it's just better for me to watch my phone. And if I can't see your reactions, it will just be Beth and I talking today. So, good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. And welcome to Metaphysical Meltdown on the Soulology Network. I've been gone for a few weeks. In fact, I couldn't tell you how many weeks. I know I at least missed one. I was ill and in the hospital, and I think Todd filled in my hour, and my hour will be twice a month on this time of 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. So I'm just really happy to be back. I'm feeling much better. My brain's back. I'm able to work again. So I'm happy to be here, and I'll be introducing you to Beth in a few minutes. So, Metaphysical Meltdown is something I've been doing for years. I did it on the radio for a while, I did a podcast for a while. And if you listen to my first show a while back when I was in a different part of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, it was just me explaining how I work with this type of energy healing called Art of Your Energy. So I wrote a book about it and I did some sampling. So I'm going to do some work tonight. So is Beth, my guest. As soon as I introduce her, you'll know what she's doing. Somehow we're going to work together and it'll all be fun and interesting. Um, and so that is what my show is about. I have people on, and I will be having on a few other people in the next few weeks. Pat Brack, who is a psychic medium healer, and also Deborah Stelfox. She's the love guru, everybody, and she does numerology, and she's really, really fun to listen to. She does lightning fast numerology, and she'll give everybody a little sample. So hopefully that will be within a month or so. I just never know how these things are going to play out, but planning on being there with you. And so just want to thank Todd and Soulology for filling in for me while I was gone. You'll be able to ask questions tonight, I think, maybe, although I can't see anything thus far on, yeah, I can't see a darn thing on my phone. So we won't. Okay, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I can't see anything. So um, I don't know if there's just nobody here or whether we're not going to be able to interact with people. That's going
That's
to be fine. Yeah, we don't need to. So everybody, what we want to do is just say thank you so much for Beth coming in today. So this is Beth Heyer, everybody, and she is a sound healer, and so we're welcoming her today. And just thanks so much, Beth, for coming. And I just love to talk about whatever you want to talk about today. So could you please start by telling people where you're from, what you do, how you do it, that kind of stuff.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Mary, and to Todd for having us on Soulology. I'm super excited to be here. And so I am actually, I have a frog in my throat, apparently. I'm in Olympia, Washington. I've been here for a long, long time, but I actually grew up on the East Coast in upstate New York, so not too far from where Mary is now. And what I do is always a fun thing to try and describe. But what I will say is that I definitely love to work with vibration, whether that is a resonant voice or a sound instrument of some sort, or light or sacred geometry. I like to work with the languages of the body, to talk to the body, to get to know the body, and to be curious about it.
Languages of the body. I like that. So tell us about the types of sound healing that you do.
Well, one of my first exposure was with acutonics, which Judy was just how I met Judy Bernard. So hi to Judy Bernard if you watch this. So they have a system using the planets and the planetary sounds through tuning forks and gongs and singing bowls and whatever other instruments you want to use, be it like a didgeridoo, or I've never done that. They're very hard to play, but very cool. They might be really good to play if you had a lot of hot air that you needed to get rid of, to fill it up.
Yeah.
But so I started that type of sound healing. So the sound healing with using acupuncture points with the tuning forks in certain sequences with certain different planetary vibrations, because they all do different things, as we know. So my very first experience of a sound healing treatment was we did like a half an hour session on each other. And what I remember the most about it is that there was this one time in my life where I was in a pool, and the temperature of the water, the temperature of my body, and the temperature of the air were all the same thing. So that feeling of oneness.
Oh, wow.
And that's when you receive sound healing. Like, you stop being a solid thing and you start to feel connected to all the vibrations around you, and you feel, I don't know, boundless, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. It's very floaty and delicious. And you just feel very relaxed and very at home.
That's how I felt with Judy's work for sure. I've just felt like I could feel everything around me so much easier. And I know that through my own toning, that's the only thing I do is tone. And, I barely can keep a rhythm. That's all I got, And so toning for somehow just comes out. And it does make the energy move, the blocks clear so much easier than anything else. If I have somebody who's having trouble, I'll blow out some toning. And, I have a lot of hot air. Perhaps I could do the didgeridoo. But that looks pretty hard. It really does.
They're super fun to try to play. Yeah. So the thing about vibration is that, for me, like, change was always very difficult before. Even though I wanted to change, it was so hard on me. I just would have so much resistance, and I was so blocked, and it would feel like I got run over by a Mack truck for like a week after I did something like really good that I wanted to do. And so sound healing just helps your resiliency. It really helps you be more flexible. It helps you see what the crescendos mean, but knowing that there's also these underlying tones, and there's all this ability to feel and see yourself in a different way. And it's super juicy.
Well, I know I've just learned that it doesn't really matter to the body if something really awesome is happening or something really awful is happening.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll just get sent sideways. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know I just moved. We drove cross country with our pets and got here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and stayed at one place for a while, looked around for a house and found it. Well, I found that really fun. Evidently,
Mhm.
my body didn't like that at all. And I got bit by a million mosquitoes, and then I landed in the hospital, in an emergency room twice, hospital once for a few nights. And so my body was trying to clear.
Yeah.
And so I sat with my guides today, and they told me what happened. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
just feeling so odd, so odd. And they said, "You're completely out. You went away to heal. Now, why don't you come right on back?" So how
Mhm.
many people have healed me? How many worked on me? How many times have I? Sometimes you just don't know because you're gone doing whatever spirit wants you to do, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
"Hello, Sirius Star," and I meant to say this in the beginning. Anybody who sees this knows me. I have a lot of rocks. all these boxes behind me, I'm not embarrassed to say, my doggone rocks, and they're also over here. You can't see. So I keep telling everybody it's going to look better soon. It's going to look better soon, but you're really here for death today, so don't worry about it. So what's your favorite type of healing with sound now that you do?
Well, I mean, I love doing one-on-one sessions with people, but also I do a group sound healing meditation once a month locally here. I'm going to start doing them online as well. But the the feeling of doing that with a group of people and just being able to be present for the shifts that happen is just, it's really yummy to give people that gift of themselves.
Yeah.
So for one thing, you tell them that they go away, and you'll tell them that they won't know that they went away, because they sometimes people get super relaxed and they kind of pass out, and they're snoring or whatever. It's fine, doesn't matter, that's what they needed. And some people think they're aware the whole time, but then like I had a lady who really enjoyed the experience but felt like she was fine, and then she came home and she bawled her eyes out. And I said, yeah, that's just the sound moving through you. It works different in everybody. But I love I love watching people wake up, I guess is what I would say. And so sound has a way of doing that, because there is no resistance to sound. It is your language. Your body understands. It's not trying to figure it out. Massage is great. That's where I started. But man, if I could get my body to relax, it was so hard, such hard work to get myself to stop, being tense and whatever. And sound just kind of melts you, because if you think about a straight line is the condition, right, where you're at, and then a wave comes along and it changes it. And then it's something different on the other side, and you don't know what that will be. Maybe it will be all better. Maybe it will just be tightness instead of pain. You don't know, but it changes it. And it also makes the body more aware of itself and more connected to itself. So it's just really beautiful and a lot of fun to do.
And that's also why light language works as well, doesn't it? Because we don't need to know what people are saying. And sadly, people do get kind of caught up in that, is what language are they speaking? What are they saying?
Yeah.
It just fills you with all kinds of different feelings. I
Yeah.
love one of my dear friends does it really well. She can go from one thing to the next thing. In fact, three people I know do it really well. Just from Arcturian to Dragon to Fae to it just, you can tell too with the way it makes your body feel.
Yeah.
What you're hearing, really.
Yeah. You totally can.
And also the toning, I don't know what I'm saying or singing. It just comes out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're not inhibiting yourself. I mean, singing is a little harder for people. I don't tone the same way you do, but a lot of times when like when I first started toning a little bit with some other work that I do, we do it more around the chakras and those particular sounds and things like that. But, if I was feeling off and I was driving, I would just make a sound and see whatever note came out and see where I felt it in my body. And then I'd change the tone and see what it felt then. But it's a way to really just, what does it feel like, to sound this note in my body? Where does it go? What happens? Those kinds of things. It's really, I think it's where we started when we got in these bodies, that kind of communication, of that feeling sense of responding to your environment.
We found our special purpose. Well, you know, when mine started coming on, it didn't sound good at all. And so
Mhm.
basically, I asked my guides for a guide, and my guide would adjust me and do all kinds of stuff in my throat. Now it actually sounds like, dare I say, music every once in a while.
Really beautiful. And I experienced work with Mary. I worked with Mary, and last session she toned a bunch, and it's really powerful, booming. Like it's not just, it's like channeling sound. So whatever, you just open yourself up, and that's what comes through you. And it's a pure expression of whatever the moment is, which is what sound is, right?
It is, and when it's somebody else doing it through you too, because I can tell when it's somebody else. You
Yeah.
you don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, And one time, gosh, it was last year, I guess, I channeled a language that was clearly not mine with an
Mhm.
accent that wasn't mine. And the accent of the area that I was in, because the people around me said, well, that's these guys right here, you know.
Yeah.
That was really weird. In fact, I have to say, it has been so weird the last few months. I think I know you'd concur.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been easy for people. And I
Sure.
think anything people could do right now to feel better, you just got to find it. You have to find a way to soothe yourself now. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think people that uh like walk their talk, that do healing work, and I tried to be that, no judgment if we're not able to live up to that. But we I've been in this business for 22 years. And so there's lots of things that have soothed me over time, but maybe they don't really soothe me right now. And so it's good to have a library of tools, things that you go to, or if you don't have them, just start thinking about it. Well, maybe don't think about it. Ask your heart about it is what I'd like to say. Because for me, I know we were talking about this the other day. Self care is the only way through this right now. When I'm kind of out of my mind and spinny outy and not, sure about something and feel a little bit jiggy, if you will, I self care. I got to self care. Or I say the forgiveness prayer. The things that those things soothe me. They make me feel like I'm shifting the energy that is being broadcast, that is tough to hear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that balances me out, and it gives me something to do with that energy instead of going into fear or worry or concern. That I am choosing how I'm going to express that energy in a way that is also supporting me. So it's a much better way to go for me.
Well, it is because fear is it's being blasted out right now. People picking up on that, and then people are picking up on other people. So if we're not watching how much of our energy is uh, covered up with people's energy,
Yeah.
you just have to now. It's not like years in the past where we could, here and there do a clearing or once in a while go out and do a grounding. It's got to be during the day many times.
Yeah. Yeah. And also it's like an investment account. It's like the only investment account that I think is really important, even though you need the green stuff for now. But if I'm not making those investments for myself, I have no reserves. I have no, like, I can't even think straight when I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? Even though that happens anyway sometimes, but you just, mirror work is something that soothes me. I do 60 seconds to 2 minutes every morning. First thing in the morning, I look myself in the eye, and it takes me a while, even still, just to be like, to totally get in there and see myself. But that gives me a sturdy foundation every day. I know myself and I see myself. And so that gives me just a much better balance and harmony and more ease in my life than I can imagine. I do your practices every single day. I do them usually in the morning and always right before I go to sleep. And so those things that like make you feel like you're being well nourished and taken care of, like you would take care of someone else. These relationships with ourselves are so important, and they've never been more important than they are right now.
Absolutely, that's well said. I know that when I was really sick just lately, I would work on myself anyway, and I wouldn't necessarily want to. I'd like to sit there and stare at the wall, but I did it anyway, and
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I didn't feel it. I
Yeah.
knew they were there. I knew
Yeah.
my guides were with me. I knew
Yeah.
people were working on me. I couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
And what it reminded me of is, let's just say you have arthritis and then suddenly you get the flu and you're just sicker than a dog for a week. You're
Yeah.
not thinking about your arthritis, are you?
That's that's true.
And so I realized the other day I was so thinking about what was going on right there because I had a really weird thing happen, a couple weird things, and I couldn't quite. And then now that I know I wasn't really in my body,
Yeah.
and so how can you get through your day, and then eventually, when I started feeling better, start helping people. How can you do all that stuff and make things happen and you're not totally there? You're somewhere else. How can you do that? Multiple dimensions. That's all I can think of. I don't know. You're in a bunch of places.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. And, I can't tell you how many times where people are lost or grieving and they feel they're really having a hard time. And I say, you are so not alone right now. You are like, I see how much light is surrounding them. I'm like, I need you to know that I can see light all around you. You are so held and so loved. And I know you can't feel it, but know that that's true. And I'm glad that I get the opportunity to say these things to other people, because I'm sure you have the same thing where you say to yourself, remember that thing you said, or are you listening to yourself? Because I think you need to be listening to this. This announcement is really for you, or whatever it is. But it is that feeling of when we're so alone, or when we're so lost, or when we're so distraught or caught up in big emotions, that you feel like you can't feel anything. And that is, I think, actually a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of things going on and maybe you only feel a little bit of it, and that seems okay. On the other side of it, you think, well, I think I'm glad I didn't know all these things were happening while I was laying down for 2 weeks or whatever it was.
But
Yeah.
you know what it taught me though?
What?
It taught me that old saying of what you focus on, you get more of.
Oh, sure.
So if I'm focusing on my right leg and how much it hurts, well, of
Mhm.
course it's gonna hurt more. Well, when I had something else, I couldn't feel the leg, right?
Yeah.
So why don't I just not focus? And so Spirit has been telling me forever, gonna have to go out and have some more fun. Well, it's really beautiful where I live right now, and it's easy to walk around the block and see all kinds of wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
And go out and have some fun. Go do something. Go drive somewhere. Meet somebody.
Mhm.
And I think I'm going to just be thankful for that. And then, doggone it, if our darling elder dog didn't pass away a couple days ago. And that was
Oh,
absolutely heartbreaking. Chief the pug passed away. And as I'm communicating this with people, because I did go outside my house today to do a little gardening in the front of my yard, and our street is like crazy. It's people always taking their dogs and their kids up and down. It's a neighborhood, but still people. It's very walkable. I
yeah.
had, I think, three ladies, two kids, couple dogs. Everybody come out and see, because we're the new people. They want to talk to us. And it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I had people tell me about losing pets this week. So,
Yeah.
and another very dear friend of mine lost a pet today. So
Yeah.
it's that time. The energy is just like blasting, and some can't take it, or some have decided now's the time. And
Yeah.
they're contract. So yeah, we just got
Also, those experiences are big. When my dogs died, I mean, we have another dog now, but when my dogs died, I did not want to be here. I just wanted to be where they were. I was so sad. All I wanted to do was cry. And that's totally fine. And then, I got through it, and then they told me what to do. So when I could hear them again, when my grief wasn't as loud, that's when they told me, I asked them what they wanted me to do, and they told me they wanted me to love myself like they loved me. And I said, well, shit.
oh God. Does that just get you?
I was like, I don't know how to do that, so I better get to work. So I did. And anyway, but they are such amazing beings, and it's so hard when they leave us, for sure. It's so hard, even though, they're good.
They're so good. And when I was watching him cross, because I knew when he was going out. I was watching him cross. I watched him walk through the water to get to the Rainbow Bridge. Doggone it, if his partner in crime was not right there waiting, and I didn't expect that. There she was. There she was. And when they were in real life together, did she ever boss him, take every
Uh-huh.
boy, make him do whatever he didn't want to do? And she was right there. And I'm sure he just went, oh, there she is. That really sucks. Or whatever they say but we have heard him. He's been back. So he comes back to visit. He's only been gone a couple days. He's just making sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
So little stinker.
Yeah. Dang
But
it.
Yeah, but what's going on just recently for people. I kept getting, I don't know how you feel about this, but I kept getting that we're going to continue to be pushed in this energy a little bit, and then there's going to be a little spot before the solstice. Now, I'm just putting that out there. Everybody can say that's a bunch of hogwash, but I do believe there's going to be a little breathing point. And I know when it happens. It's happened for the last few years for me. And Master Jesus, he's one of my main guides. He'll say, "Okay, you did it. You did 2022. You did it. You're on vacation now." So he's done that 2 years in a row. Early in December, he said, you hit your mark. So this year, maybe not. I don't know. It'll be right before the solstice. So keep going, keep going. But I'm hoping that we get that little teeny bit of time. And I'm no astrologer. I have no idea. And I don't know, I haven't sat with my guides to ask because, as you guys know, I wasn't quite there. But so I know since we're at the bottom of the hour right now, we want to talk more for sure. But I just want to ask you to say, what are you going to do in a few minutes when we give out some healing so people will want to stay at this point?
Well, I thought I would just do a really sweet, basic grounding and getting you really deep in your body. Just some little beautiful nourishment with some sound waves.
Beautiful. So maybe I can just come behind you and do some codes for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think last time I was on with Marty, I did not say what the heck those codes were. So it's called The Art of Your Energy. That's what my book is about. And I wrote these codes. Spirit gave me the codes, and then I had to figure out what they are. And then you can hear me go, and I'm just sending those codes out. And they do all kinds of different things. There's 100 of them now. So basically, after Beth gets done, I'll be sending codes. And if anybody wants to, I think I can now see questions, maybe, because I can see that people are on. I understand now why it's not coming up for me, but it is coming up under Soology. So if people do have questions, you can ask, and if I can see them, I'll do it. And I'm just going to I'm just going to be the devil's advocate. And I'm going to ask Beth some questions about what she's doing so that we'll kind of know what it is. And actually, what I really just want to do now for the next few minutes, if we can, is I want to just talk about how you got to the place you are now, really, because you did a few different things, massage and now sound healing. And what really is exciting you about what's going on right now? Because this is such a pivotal time.
Well, I feel like it's driven me to my truth. So I enjoy being curious and I enjoy learning. And for a lot of my life, that was driven by my emotions were running my life. And I was just kind of trying to survive life. That was I got to learn this stuff so I can survive, so I can figure out how to live in the world kind of stuff. And then later on, as I moved on and was able to be more authentically myself, once I had moved away from patterns and things that I had learned in my life, just from being in my family and that kind of stuff. Once you do that, then you get to go into past life stuff, right? Because that stuff, especially this lifetime, I don't remember any of the other ones, but super, super heavy, especially as, I learned the responsibility from learning the real history of our country. Like that was a hard thing to sit with. And so I'm just trying to clear and be joy and love so that I can just so this reminds me of when I was a little girl. I was very joyful when I was a little girl, and my grandma had a relative, I think it was my aunt, who was in a care facility when she was older. And I used to dress up as an elf. I had an outfit that my mom made me. I had little bells on my feet and it was all green. I had a cape and I would just walk around, hop around and visit the people and cheer them up. And that's really kind of who I am. So I am so motivated to see the beauty and the love in people, even though they're having a lot of pain or they're having whatever. Like I want to be able to be that energy so that people have the option of recognizing that in themselves, because you can't teach that to people, right? but I'm super motivated by that. And I'm so grateful for Mary's work, because all the work that I have learned till I started working with Mary was a lot about clearing things, which is super awesome. But then you get to live in a much bigger space, a much more awakened space, and you're connected more universally. And so it's a really big space to live in. And if you don't have a way to upgrade or see yourself that way, it's kind of hard. So this system that she has is so much upgrading my system. I feel amazing. And when I don't, I'm so ready to put stuff down, and I just call Mary and I'm like, we're putting this down today. And she says, okay. So it's amazing to be able to be responsible, and also to be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and totally to have somebody I know that can help me make that happen. So it's really made me come alive. And what's coming in the next few years, that kind of stuff, I don't even know what it all is. I know there's a lot. I know we're going through a lot of change, and part of me is super grateful for that, because living in the world the way it is incredibly painful. It's not great. Not that there isn't good things going on and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good. The not so good is really loud. And if you don't know how to handle that and you're super sensitive, that is ridiculously hard to do. So those are the kinds of things that motivated me. But now I am not trying to survive. I'm just trying to be as much light as I can be in this body, and see what I can do with that.
Well, that's beautiful. And thank you for saying that. I didn't expect you to say that. I was surprised and grateful to hear that. And speaking
You
of,
didn't ask me to say that, people. I just am saying it because it's true.
well, I'm just, yeah, I didn't hear. So, it occurred to me today, what I haven't done in these weeks of feeling like crap is
What's that?
I haven't gone down to the river to play my drum.
Mm,
I've been in gratitude. I've been thankful for every little thing.
yeah.
I really have. But have I gone down there and got outside myself and played? So something today was when I was talking to the lady who has 6 kitties in the yard. And the other day, 3 buzzards, there's a lot of buzzards around here, and buzzards are really big. They swooped down in the yard and hung out with the cats. I'm not kidding. So after today, I said, I saw those buzzards. She's like, yeah, they're around, those buzzards. And then, of course, I met a bunch of them up a couple streets. I met like 15 to 20 right up above my head in a tree looking down at me. That was
They are so amazing, aren't they?
I love buzzards. And my friend who lives here, because I do have one friend in Pennsylvania, when I'm telling her, she says, they'll throw up on you, because she's not buzzards. She's been here forever. She doesn't care. And I just can't, I always love birds of prey. I love all of them. And so to me, I came home with a big handful of feathers, because that's one of their roosting spots over there. I heard the words, be aware. I could hear it so clear. And there's all those feathers. And I thought, I'm coming to visit those. But the deal today is when I was talking to the lady with the cats, who lives in this remarkable little salt box house across the street that I always take pictures of. And I saw a red-tailed hawk right over our head circling. So that's a message. I just don't know what the message is.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful, because you can only see that when they look a certain way. You can see where the tail, you can see it's a red-tailed hawk. And I thought, because here you're going to see so many, I've seen so many things. I don't even know what they are, because I grew up in Pacific Northwest. And so I know what all the bugs and the birds are. Here I don't. And I've seen cardinals outside, which is really cool. My office has a window right out to the holly tree. There's cardinals who come through, and little, listening to the birds, the sound of that to me is healing.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, everything is sound, right? I go out, and I'm lucky to live in a beautiful place, just a little under 5 acres, and there's a beautiful field that just, ever since it's surrounded by giant trees. It just feels like, you have a family of trees, which you do around you, but just standing there with the breeze. And I always I don't know, I'm an air person. So the air, when I feel that breeze, I just let it go through my whole body. It feels so amazing. And then the trees are moving and making sounds, and the birdies are talking, and it feels so amazing to just like invite it in.
It sure does. And it was really rainy here today. Doggone
But
about 2 o'clock. Sun just bursts out. I can see at your house, it's still sunny, isn't it?
it is, yes.
Here it's completely pitch dark.
Yeah,
It's interesting. I mean, I'm certainly liking it here.
that's
So what I'm hoping we can do is we've got about 20 minutes. If you could do your thing for about 10,
okay.
then I'll add in and join you with some codes after that because you'll have grounded the heck out of everybody by that point. And we have our original sound for musicians on, so hopefully that our toning is going to come through and our sound is going to come through for everybody. If you cannot hear it well, just go with it and know that the frequency of it is coming through, and just lay back, close your eyes, take your hands and feet apart, and let's go on a ride for change tonight a little bit. And let's see what Beth has for us tonight.
Okay, let's do it. I'm just going to move a little bit here. So if you're not already in a comfortable place, get yourself comfortable and seated or laying down. And then just notice your breath. It's okay if you're not breathing very deeply. Just notice, is it just coming in your chest? Do you feel it all the way down in your belly? And as you drop further down, into your body, you should feel your breath start to be easier. And feel it dropping down into your abdomen. Since we're coming up to a solar eclipse, let's use that energy today in our little relaxation. So I want you to go ahead and direct your breath. So when you breathe in, I want you to breathe the light, the energy, the power of the sun in through the top of your head, through your entire aura, your body, your bones, your blood, every little nook and cranny in you. See it expanding, feel it clearing and transforming you, and keep that breath going all the way down through you and out the bottom of your feet. See that darkness, those toxicities, those trapped emotions, anything you're hanging on to that you're ready to let go of, let it come out the bottom of your feet. And keep doing that breath, bringing that beautiful solar energy in through the top of your head, clearing and energizing your body. On your next breath, you're going to bring that light all the way down through your body, out your feet, and then we're going to travel down into the earth. Feel your roots. So you can imagine them like a tree coming down into the soil. And wherever you are, imagine you are there with many other trees. And feel what it's like to be part of the tree network. So join your own roots into the roots of the tree system. And feel that beautiful reciprocity that trees have, the way they share resources. To support each other. That is at the heart of who we are. Connect with that knowledge and remember that. Breathe it into your cells. Feel the truth of it in your DNA. Feel it in your heart. This is a beautiful way to support our tree friends. So if you ever feel concerned about a place in the world or a place that you know of where your tree friends need support, then ground yourself. Get in your roots. Connect to them. And send them what they need. So let's continue and make sure that our roots are going all the way down now into the center, to the heart of the earth. At the heart of the earth are many, many crystals. And also a place for you to connect your roots. Into the heart of the earth. So see those secure connections. Feel what that feels like. And send your prayers and your gratitude to the earth. Accept the gifts that she gives you. And while you leave your grounding roots, cords down there, travel back up into your body and bring all that goodness up through your feet and spread it out with your breath. Feel it expanding you. So now you have the light of the sun that has come in through your body, nourishing and energizing, strengthening you. The connection to the trees and the heart of the planet. And you've connected all to your home, which is your heart. So I'm going to leave you there while Mary continues with what she wants to do.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So we have a few minutes here, and I'm going to test the energy of the group and just ask my guides and guardians and the guides and guardians of this group today, just to make sure that those who come forward after can also just jump in the energy of today and feel what we are giving out. And the energy is nice and open right now, so feel that. Awesome. All right, let's find out what all of you need for now, those that are here and those that will be coming. And is there anything we need to do there? No, look at that, because she set it all up so beautifully.
Woohoo!
Let's do some codes. Okay, so you guys are going to hear me counting. I'm going to go really quick. We've got enough time for 9 minutes. That's a lot of coding, so let's just blow it out, everybody. You'll hear me counting. You'll hear me say, is it 1, 2, or 3? That just means book 1, book 2, book 3. It's only one book so far. I'm going as fast as I can, everybody. I'm working on book 2, but already we have 100 codes total, 102. Well, actually, I think even more than that. Maybe it's my 103. Okay, so let's ask here. So for everybody all together, do we need number 1, number 2, number 3 to start, 69 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 95, 96, 97, the bridge. So what we're doing right now since equinox is balance. That's what the bridge does. So 97, the bridge. Everybody, you can go ahead and close your eyes, take your hands and feet apart, just stay how you were when she was working with you. It's easier if you do at least the eye stuff. Close, close, close. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? 69 to 75, 75 to 80, 75, 76, 77. The ladder. Now the ladder is a skill and it's a code. So I have a couple skills that we do, the ladder, and then there's another one. But what it means is you're going to transcend. You're transcending past whatever's blocked you or stopped you. So number 77, the ladder. Okay, I've got one more before we talk about something else. Is it 1? Is it 2? 34 to 40, 40 to 45. Is it 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45? I am the sun. Now, if anybody around here is having, the person with the broken leg, or the other thing we were talking about, having the flu, what I am the sun does is it releases body stuff. It just is going to bring you back from that. It also has to do with all kinds of old that you're holding. It just is really one of the really great releasers out there. I am the sun. Mm-hmm. Now, are they going to stay in that place? Nope, you're just having that release right now. Boop, boop. And I'm maintaining, watching you guys and how you're adjusting after these. So is there another thing to do now? Yeah, there is. Okay, so people are feeling frustrated and they're holding on to stuff right now. And the reason why I'm looking at all of us that are here and those people that are coming in, and I know that I'm going to clear some emotions. So clearing emotions in the north, south, east, west, clearing emotions now, holy ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in your north, south, east, west, you have the chiefs now with you. And I just get to watch this beautiful movement as we release frustration now. Releasing frustration in the 0-point field, releasing frustration, and a little bit of self recrimination and some anger, clearing. Okay, there's a stop. Now, is there more? Yes, there is. Clearing now sadness and grief in the north, south, east, west, and 0-point field. Okay, stop now. All right, so testing your energy. Now the energy of all of you has gone up now about another third. All right, so is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? 69 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 95. Okay, 90, 91, 92, 93. This is rebirth, new earth, rebirth. So if anybody is not walking forward right now, being at all stuck and knowing you're stuck, so I can only talk about myself. I can't talk about somebody else. So I'm going to say about me. With me, what I was stuck on is I wanted to eat butter and mayonnaise, and then I wanted to feel bad about eating, not being able to eat mayonnaise. And so what did that keep me there? Well, it kept me stuck. And then I just developed this thing. And so Spirit says, don't eat the mayonnaise. So what you want to do, you want to walk beyond that. Just walk beyond that. Okay. You just can't stop right now.
Mhm.
Can't stop. You've got to keep going right now. Now's the time not to, it's poop or get off the pot time, everybody. So is it 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, anxiety. Anybody that gets anxiety gets depression release. So what that means is anxiety release and depression release. I kind of do shorthand on this, but it just means you're releasing. All these codes are releasing. Some of them have the bounce back, but I'll tell you if you're getting the bounce back. Okay, so that brought your energy really up there, everybody. You got one more. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? 69 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Freedom, walk away. Okay, so what that means then is if you're doing what Spirit is just showing you so purposefully, Spirit is showing you in spades what needs to happen. And what does that look like? It means things are going to go wrong. So just let them go wrong and say, wow, look at that. That really sucks right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk ahead. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do something. I'm not just going to get stuck. I'm going to do something. Okay. And that it's extra credit if you if you just go in belief. So now is belief and surrender time. Belief and surrender time. So that freedom walk away is an awesome spot to stop. Okay, so everybody say these words. I call myself back.
Call myself back.
Body, mind, spirit, and emotions.
Body, mind, spirit, and emotion.
And those of you who were not in the body, that's going to plop you back in. And I'm just thinking that between Beth and a few codes, you guys have really begun to feel better. And I'm hoping that you will let everybody know about Beth today. And so, Beth, could you please say in the last few minutes here, how do people find you?
The easiest way is my website. So it is blossoming, like a flower blossoms, blossomingdreams, plural.com.
Okay.
So that has all my information on there. It has a few meditations and different things on there, little tools you can use, and you can get on the mailing list and those kinds of things. That's a good way to keep in check with what I'm doing.
Beautiful. And if anybody wants to reach me, you can go to marybeckman.com. It's MaryBeckman.com. And that is my website. And you can look at classes that I have. I've got a class that's happening tomorrow. It's called, these are the listening classes that are coming up, called Listening to the Earth's Crystals. And so the Chiefs are running this show now for about 4 classes. I just call it the listening series. A couple months ago, because I had that month where I was not working much, a couple months ago we had all the up classes. And we were trying to get through July and August. We were just trying to get through there. And all these classes are timing. So these listening classes are, first one, listening to the Earth's crystals and listening to the trees in the mycelium speak. There's walking the Earth's grid, all kinds of different ones. But tomorrow is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You can find it on my website under classes. Now, the other thing that I said, hey, you guys don't even have to do page 1 after Beth got a hold of you. Page 1 is something that I like to give away. And you can go, even if you're not my client, you can get this because Spirit wants you to have it. It's called Integration and Reunification. Don't worry about my writing on here. You just want to look, see, it's just kind of this blue, yellow, and purple thing. So only thing that hangs out in downloads on my website. So just print that off on your printer, do that stuff. You won't know what you're doing. Doesn't matter. Remember, we're trusting. Trust, believe, read that stuff off because Spirit's just going to go bum, 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 and they're going to put those codes in you. You're going to feel a lot better and be able to hold what we did for you today. And God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here, Beth. That was delightful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good night, everybody. Come on back to Sology any old time. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.